From the Mona Plummer Aquatic Center in Tempe, Arizona, it's time for Sun Devil Extra, presented by Spring Hill Suites, Phoenix, Scottsdale. Braiden Bell alongside Arizona State's Deputy Athletic Director, Lisa Young, who's filling in for Graham Rossini this week. First off, Lisa, welcome to the program. It's been a couple of months.
It's Braiden.
And we're on the road now.
No, I love it.
Yeah,
yes.
This is fun.
Good energy.
Yeah.
A little toasty.
A little bit.
But it's nice.
Yeah, working on the tan. Working on the tan. Early, low 70s, I should say, as we sit in mid-February. We won't complain.
Right.
I was talking on the broadcast in baseball this past weekend about how nice it was over and over and over, and I was thinking of our friends from the Midwest. ASU was playing Ohio State, of course. We'll talk about that in a moment. And I was thinking, I'm really rubbing some people the wrong way talking about how nice it is. But we've got to brag while we've had it. It's
Absolutely.
the best weather in the country right now.
Yes. And we don't brag in the summer. We brag this time of year.
And we deserve to.
Yes.
We deserve to.
Yeah.
So I just alluded to Arizona State baseball, and it was opening weekend for the Sun Devils, and boy, what a weekend it was at Phoenix Muni. A sweep of Ohio State in 3 games that were very exciting in different ways. Friday had the controversial review to end the game where the umpires had to go up to the press box. Saturday, a walk-off for Braiden Compton. And then Sunday was a game that I think started at lunchtime and ended when many folks were eating dessert. It was over 4 hours on Sunday. A win over Austin Peay as well on Monday. So the Devils are at 4-0. Not only playing an exciting brand of baseball, but the fan support was off the charts as well. A new record in terms of attendance for an opening weekend in the long and storied program history of Sun Devil baseball. I know you were there Friday.
Yep. But
pretty special, that attendance mark. That's something to really be proud of.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I think, the halo effect of football and all the energy around athletics is just playing itself out here. So I think that's part of it, but also just the energy of people being excited to watch ASU baseball. Willie's connection to ASU, of course. Yeah. It's fantastic to see. But, yeah, to your point, almost 11,000 people over the course of 3 days. That's something. We were in some meetings earlier, and Graham was mentioning over the course of the weekend, about 41,000 people came out to watch an ASU sporting event. So it just shows the power, I think, of the community and the desire to come out and watch our athletes compete at the highest level. So it's a great time. Albeit it was a lot colder Friday night. But it was great.
Again, we're rubbing people from the Midwest the wrong way.
I know.
I'll be honest about that. I brought, I was wearing a polo shirt like this to start the broadcast. I brought a quarter zip and then I brought a coat. And it was never got lower than 60 degrees.
I know.
We're weak.
I know, it is. But it was great. The Bloomquists are friends of mine, went to college with Lisa Bloomquist, and our daughters are in the same class at school. So I think just coming back to the fact that this is always such a community, family, friends-focused event, it's just really meaningful. And their little puppy is much more better behaved than ours. So we need to take some lessons.
We had Eddie on the show last week. We were over at Mooney.
He was a hit.
He was the biggest of hits.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't beat Eddie. I was going to ask you, you know Eddie well then?
Well, we met Eddie. 4-month-old Eddie is far better behaved than our 18-month-old. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe what's your dog's name?
Her name's Millie.
Millie, okay, Millie and Eddie. Maybe Millie can take some lessons from the young Eddie Bloomquist.
There you go.
Certainly a great start to the year for Arizona State baseball and what they were able to do at Muni. And like you said, the big numbers against Ohio State, and then if you add in the crowd from the Austin Peay game, over 13,000 Sun Devil fans saw those 4 games to open up the year, and they'll be back at home again this weekend against Oral Roberts Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And guess what? The weather's going to be nice again, so see you out at Muni over the weekend. Speaking of success and flipping over to anticipation, we go from the warm temperatures outside to the ice inside Mullet Arena, where it might be the most impactful 2-game weekend series in the history of Sun Devil hockey this weekend. They face number 3 Western Michigan, the only squad ahead of them in the NCHC standings. Western Michigan up by 5 points right now. ASU has 4 conference matches to go, including those 2 this weekend. Everything's still on the table. Everything is still to play for. And it's going to be a really fun weekend at Mullet this weekend, where ASU hockey, who of course is ranked just outside the top 10 nationally, has a chance to not only take down a top 3 opponent in the country, but also if things go their way, they could catapult into first place in the conference. Really exciting stuff this weekend. It's
really exciting, and I think if no one has been to an ice hockey game, an ASU game in Mullet Arena, that is one of the most exciting sporting events there is. And, we were talking about this, I think, in the fall of just the season ticket sellouts and the anticipation there. Certainly, the Coyotes leaving the Valley added to that. But I think just the excitement and the anticipation around that team and what they've built in such a short period of time. I just would urge anybody, if they haven't gone, go and attend. It's a hard ticket. It's a hot ticket, but it's fun, but also they're so good. And the energy around that is also just really fun.
Yeah, and if you have never been, this is a pretty doggone good weekend to go out there and start. Like we said, it is a massive weekend. Friday night at 7 p.m., Saturday coming up at 5 o'clock against Western Michigan over at Mullet Arena. I'll be there on Friday. Probably not on Saturday, but I'll be there on Friday. I'm going to be out there supporting, and should be a lot of fun. Now we go back outside to softball.
Yes.
And I wanted to get your take on this, because I saw this number, an email from Doug Tamaro, who sets us up with a whole bunch of numbers and figures for this show every single week. 25 games have been played at Farrington Stadium over the last 2 weeks. Sun Devil softball now 7-3. They've picked up 3 ranked wins recently over Washington and Oregon, former Pac-12 foes over the weekend. But they're hosting these tournaments. That's a year-by-year, of course, basis they go through. But to host 25 games in the matter of 2 weeks, it takes a village to put on that kind of an event back-to-back weeks. What can you say about our staff here at ASU being able to do things like that?
Yeah, well, first of all, shout out to Coach Bartlett for just starting hot and, already just fast and furious with the team. But, yes, I mean, I think on Saturday we had 9 events in one day, and it takes a huge ASU athletics village to put that on, really. And it's people going from one venue to the next, and it's everything from, security to concessions folks to sport administrators to the people like you who are calling the games. It's many people that come together to make that happen. And we want to make it such a seamless experience for our fans, which hopefully, we continue to get better and better at doing, but also showcasing our athletes at the highest level. It just takes so much behind the scenes. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because there really is so many people behind the scenes working very hard to do that. And don't really have a chance to take a breath this time of year. I think we've got 17 of our 26 sports competing right now. So this is the moment. If you're interested in ASU athletics, now's the month. But again, a good shout out to the teams working behind the scenes.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And a shout out to the team working on the field at Farrington. Like you said, Coach Bartlett and the squad 7-3, a couple of ranked wins already. They'll have another great opportunity on Friday when SEC Power Florida will be in it at Farrington, Club Farrington, I should say, for the Sun Devil Classic. They'll be playing games all weekend long as well. And also, we always shout out if you come on this show, good things happen to you. Kelsey Hall was on our show 2 weeks ago. Through 10 games, she's batting .500.
I love it.
Yeah.
You guys are the good luck charms.
I'm done. Well, so it all started with Cam Scadaboo. He came on the program, I think, our 3rd show of the year. It was right after the season opening win for Sun Devil football. Obviously, he had a pretty decent year, I would say. So I think the good juju started out there, and then from there, it's just kind of continued to rise and rise and rise.
Well, let's keep it coming, because we've got Big 12 championships for swimming and diving next week, so the timing is perfect for that.
How about that for a segue, huh? Let's talk about Big 12 swim and dive championships coming up in Federal Way, Washington, and we're going to hear from the head coach himself, Herbie Boehm, joining us coming up next on Sun Devil Extra.